chat with Glendora, a show for living right. A chat with Glendora makes your day so bright. Words of inspiration, jokes to make you smile. Come relax and chat with Glendora for a while.
Somebody asked a senior citizen, how are you today? And she says, okay, except for a few twinges in the hinges. And boy, I know what she's talking about. Have you heard of the aftershave lotion for husbands over 65? It's called Old Spouse. And you know you're getting old when it takes you longer to rest up than it did to get tired. And you know you're getting old when you're out having a good time and you're faced with a temptation. You're faced with two temptations. You'll take the one that'll get you home by 9:30. And the senior citizen who said she was in her cereal age, what is that? You feel your corns more than you feel your oats? So I think we covered Monday, folks. Now how about Sunday, March the 20th? March the 20th. Victoria and Esther, out of friendship and out of love and out of oneness and out of when all is said and done, the only thing that really matters is how you treat others, came here an hour and poured over to Glendora the information they had about the trust and how to fill up the $1,500 that you have to give the trust every month, and how you have to give it to the trust by way of your credit cards, so they have a proof of it. Everything has to be paid by credit card. Okay. Rent, $400. Heat, $300. Heat, why did you go up to $300? That's only $100 less than the rent. Telephone, groceries, I guess it's the money you would pay anybody that you hired through Medicaid to do home help. We'll have to clarify that one. So they were very, very kind to do that. And our dear Victoria Watson and Montessori teacher Sandy went over to the museum, the Glendora Franklin Museum for the Preservation of the Public Access Pro Se newspaper record, and worked for maybe an hour and a half cleaning up mice feces on top of the boxes of archives and also on the rugs, and got that started. And the temperature was 60 degrees, and this is on the second day of spring. Now, did you cover Saturday? Victoria Watson is a grand help. She is really a good worker and a good facilitator. And let's see, Sunday, Saturday, Friday, I told you about Victoria and the Kinderhook tapes. Victoria takes the SD card out of this camcorder and loads it onto her computer, and from her computer she makes the DVD discs. And the DVD discs go to the 21 TV stations by mail. There used to be 10 others that did that, but Gary Black is now doing it by Dropbox with the help of Robert Jackson. Give Riney Horse credit. He sent us 3 of his beautiful Christian spiritual Western songs to play for you. And they'll also be played in Yonkers. In fact, they'll be played everywhere. Almost. Anything else? See, things came along so fast, everybody, that I couldn't find the time to get to you to tell them to you, and then they go through your mind at about 186,000 miles per second, and they don't wait for you. And there's no, and I can't see to write them down, right? I can't see to read them to you. Okay. We'll just have to do it. Together, all in one, having a good time, keeping the universe, which is God, which is all of us, going, glowing, and growing. And look at the grand going and glowing and growing we've done for these billions of years. These billions of years. And the billions of creativities. Okay, let's see, jokes. I need jokes from Wayne. And I can't call him until he gets his appointment. And may the God of peace himself sanctify all of us through and through, completely. Is that separation or is that oneness? What is sanctifying? Sanctifying is living the oneness of God. Yeah, it's okay. Grace and peace. Well, folks, it's now Thursday, the 25th. 3 months ago was Christmas, and we've been 1/3 around the earth. And here we are trying to catch up with you on the log, and it just moves so fast I can't seem to do it. 10 minutes ago, a half-an-hour conference, 3-way, with Gloria and the social worker, Sarah. Gloria is an amazing advocate, the way she takes her time, her energy, and her life to stand up for those who seek care from the county for home care and medical bills. And this conference was that Glendora got such a low rating, meaning she was so able, that the county will pay for only 8 hours of home care a week. So Gloria, it was Gloria's idea, not Glendora's, to ask again for another reassessment, and that's where they are now. The amazing thing, folks, is the poor agencies trying to help the elderly are so deficit in helping the blind. they can't come up with much help for the blind. What the blind need is somebody nearby to help them walk and to read to them. And of course they need the cooking help. They can't do any cooking. And they need the house care, keeping the house clean. And both Gloria and the social worker, Sarah, bemoaned that. They're appalled that they can't find any helpers for that. Then they had these agencies that charge $29 an hour to help the elderly when Glendora can get people to help anywhere from $10 an hour to $16 an hour. Dear Victoria, too, was here this morning and did so much. She did a washing, and she did some perk up in the bathroom, putting bleach in the sink in the toilet, and tidying up, and got out Glendora's lunch. Glendora said, "No breakfast, you're feeding me so well that the bowel movements are too large and cause problems." Well, the senior citizen was asked, "How are you today?" And she says, "Okay, except for the twinges in the hinges." Very, very good news from yesterday. Victoria, too, is going to come every morning at 7 o'clock, 7 to 8 o'clock, and get the day started. That's very good news. Very, 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 very good news.
10 o'clock a.m.
Hi there, little birdie. At 10 o'clock? We saw a really red cardinal out the window today when we were feeding the birdies. That Channel 6, CBS News, 6:30 p.m. news, has approved the 8 new commercials. They're all approved. They're already in the can waiting to be played the first week of every month for the rest of this year. At the end of the campaign, the vegan commercials to help the animals. Oh, that was good. And we still have the flavor of the McCormick ripoff by lawyers Surrogate Court and Banks of the $26 million her husband left her and she's never seen over the period of 25 to 30 years. So she's getting the opportunity to tell her story. That just happens continuously. The banks, the judges, and the lawyers. Okay. What are you reading in Mary Baker Eddy? Reading her healings around the year 1870. 72, 3, 4, 5 in there. And she was charging something like $6,000 tuition to go to her metaphysical college and to learn the art of spiritual, to learn the grace of spiritual healing. And she's just about to decide to go into quietness where she can revise again science and health. And then, of course, she had the founding of the church and the structure of the church and the building of the church, the Christian Science Church. So that's just about where we now in reading spiritual or Christian healer. Anything else? We have an incident here about a shower curtain that has to be remedied. And all of that's happened before 8 a.m. We have a grand crew on this enterprise, the Glendora TV show Enterprise. A chat with Glendora. And it goes so far. It goes to Portland, Oregon, Chicago, Connecticut, Buffalo, New York, Troy, New York, and then all of the volunteers that you know, the Wheels on Meals people, Glendora. That's Meals on Wheels. Why do you keep saying Wheels on Meals? Well, the 7-year-old ran into the house and said, Grandma, I dropped my lunch bag on the driveway and Dad backed the car over it. And Grandma said, that's Wheels on Meals. Do you know about the man going down the street with a darling Cocker Spaniel puppy in his arms? And he meets his friend and he says to his friend, what do you think of this Cocker Spaniel puppy I got for my wife? And his friend said, that's not a bad trade. And that got told wrong in the newspaper. It said that I bought for my wife. No, that's full of the whole joke. I got for my wife. Joke telling is really very precise art. Because it's touch and go whether somebody's going to laugh or not. And everything has to be perfect. And the woman who said, I just turned 24, and her friend says, that's right. Yesterday she was 42. You know, don't you, that Wayne and I are up to page 100 of the Christian healer biography of Mary Baker Eddy? Already we're up to page 500, or 100 rather, out of 500. And the Sentinel is talking about omniscience, omnipotence, omnipresence, and we've all got to get together, folks, and we've all got to understand that this is God. You don't talk to God, and God doesn't talk to you. That's not the way it is at all. If you say it that way, it's separation, that you and God are separate. You are not. We are all one together. This great big great big universe. It's all one. It's an entity. You don't talk to God. You live with God. You move with God. I know I can't explain it. I don't know anybody who does. But do you get the feeling, folks? You live, it's a process. You live with God. And what's going on in your mind and body and in your soul is what's going on all over the universe. What the soul is. It's all going together. Would you figure it out for me, would you please? We have a doctor's appointment for the cataracts on April 2nd, the day after April 1st, April Fool's Day. I think that we will seek another chiropractor, a couple of them, 2, 3 of them. And then, if that doesn't work, we'll go to Patricia, my friend Patricia's doctor, that she went to get a hip replacement. And maybe we'll get a knee replacement. Maybe not. We talked to the banker yesterday about the trust where we're going to put $1,700, the 6th of every month, into the trust to pay all of the bills related to health, to medical. And then the trust will take our credit card or our debit card, which our banker says it doesn't matter whether it's debit or credit, and send all the bills to them, and they will pay them all. And when we pay all the bills that way, then Medicaid, Rensselaer County, will pay all of our medical bills. All of them? Yes, all of them. And if you don't do that, then you're going to have to pay the medical bills as of $1,700. Your spend down. What's your spend down? It's the $2,600 that Franklin sends us from heaven every month. Thank you, Franklin. It's the $2,600 income minus the maximum that Medicaid will allow a person to have and receive Medicaid. So that's $2,600 minus $880, and what is that? It's about $1,700, right? Then Medicaid pays all the rest. Well, if I understood it, but as little as I understand, it looks like a miracle to me. Victoria from Troy is coming today from 1 o'clock to 6 o'clock, and she'll probably be late. And Esther Raphael is coming from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock, and she'll probably be late. And then Victoria Watson is coming back from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. And yesterday, indeed, the work was up to date. Are you sure? Yes. That's a lot of work to get up to date. Well, I'm sure it was up to date. The Holy Agenda, the drawer of medical files, the regimen of saintly eating. I wonder if Esther Raphael is still on her regimen of saintly eating. Salads. Mixtures of fruit and nuts. She calls it her way of life now. I bet she is. I bet she is. She is that strong. She is that close to God. She wouldn't go off of it. The quarterly magazine for the American Vegan Society is here today. I would like to have Vicki or somebody else read you a couple of articles, or to just scan it with you. The Advertiser, our hometown shopping news, printed our article from the Glendora Vegetarian Club, and Vicki was kind enough to read it to you. I love that Bible passage that you found us yesterday, Wayne Collins. Would you join us again with it?
Yes, the Bible passage is, "Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect." Matthew 5:48.
Let's do that, want to?
Yes.
Let's do that. And we think only good things?
Think only good things.
Yeah, and think the truth of the universe, how God is everything and everything is good.
We'll attempt to do that.
Oh, thank you. I need your support.
Okay.
And now, do you have a word
Yes.
that would inspire us to do something good?
Yes. Today's word for the vocabulary word is eps, which is a semicircular or polygonal projection of a church, generally at the east end and with a domed or vaulted roof.
Well, Wayne, I can't see much use for that one, honey. For our work today, how is that going to help us today? All right, I'm going to cut out. Would you find us one that inspires us more?
Yes.
Wayne found a good one, folks. Listen to this.
The vocabulary word is aptitude. The definition is suitability, fitness, a natural tendency, inclination, or ability, quickness to learn or understand.
That's what we need. Yes, yes, yes. As creations of God, we must have an aptitude to quickly understand and learn, right?
Yes.
Okay. I have to sing the hymn. Okay. Let's see.
Blessed assurance.
Perfect submission, all is at rest. I and my Savior are happy and blessed, watching and waiting, looking above. Sing the last two lines, Wayne.
Born of his spirit, lost in his love.
Thank you very much, dear.
You're welcome.
Now, how about some jokes?
Yes, some jokes. Hotel out of business.
Okay, if the hotel went out of business, instead of being a farewell hotel, it became a welfare hotel. How's that? Instead of being a welfare hotel, it became a farewell hotel?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And then ropes.
3 ropes were walking down the street, and they went into a restaurant, and they began to order. And the head waiter says, "Wait a second, aren't you ropes? We don't serve ropes in here. You'll have to leave." Out on the sidewalk, one rope became very angry, and he tied himself into a knot, and he tousled both of his ends. He went back in the restaurant. He started to order, and the head waiter said, "Hey, aren't you a rope?" Do you know what the rope said?
He said, "No, I'm not."
He said, "What?"
He said, "No, I'm a knot."
No. Okay, I think he said, "I'm afraid not."
Afraid?
I'm afraid not. Well, okay, that was good.